Hello, hello, hello. This is James, and we are going live. We're going to get a giveaway started. Random giveaway. Good morning. We're getting a giveaway going, so y'all getting a giveaway. It's going to be a random storage item. Hope y'all are having a fantastic weekend. Uh, we have been out of town for the last almost 2 weeks. We left on Tuesday 2 weeks ago, and we just got home last night. Oh my goodness. Ah! I got boxes falling behind me. So this has been a crazy couple of weeks. We wound up having to go to Dallas for our daughter, and she had the halo, which is for her scoliosis, and the screws that hold the halo in place had come loose. And so we had to take her to Dallas to see the specialist that put it on, and he wound up admitting her to the hospital, and she was there for almost 2 weeks. We did do a storage unit while we were there. Everything got shipped out, but we did have some delays due to going back and forth to the hospital and the chaos of the whole week because she was supposed to be there for 2 days and then come home. And then I also had a funeral. I had to bury a friend of mine and a mentor, a longtime friend. In fact, one of my teachers in the art of scavenging many, many years ago, before I started scavenging for resale. Um, Passed away. And he's a very good friend, very good mentor, saved my life 30 years ago. And he passed away recently, and I had to bury him last Monday. So that was rough, but we had a lot going on the last 2 weeks. So I was a little slow on my shipping, but we did get everything out. Everything is on the way. So if you haven't received your items yet, they are on the way. Um, and we've had some issues with the postal service. I've had in the last 3 months, so since August, September, and in October, because we're at the end of October just about. I've had like 7 packages that I dropped off at the post office and they just disappeared. They either didn't get scanned in at the post office or they got scanned in, they showed up as shipping, and then they vanished and disappeared. So I've had to resend out what I could because some items, we're doing storage units. We don't have multiple items of a lot of stuff. So every once in a while, we have some things like our L'Oreal bags. I have some of those. If I have multiple items of those, I'll just resend another one out, which is what I'm doing with some of those. Um, Anybody else, I've been doing refunds um, for anybody that purchased. If there were giveaways, I'm substituting the giveaway for something of equal or greater value. Um, but it's been a pain for me for dealing with it. Postal service is like, oh, it's because of the hurricanes. Well, some of these were shipped out long before the hurricane, should have been delivered before the hurricanes. So, and they weren't going anywhere near the areas where the hurricanes were. So, I don't know, but they want to blame the hurricanes on anything. It gives them an easy excuse, I guess. So, hope you all are having fun getting the giveaway. Give me a chat. We are here. We are going to do some seller support. We're new to Whatnot still. I consider myself new. We are getting close to the 1,000 sales. So if y'all want, jump in to buy it now. We got a bunch of stuff loaded in there, and that will help us get to 1,000 sales. And we are also got a giveaway going, so get in that gibby. And we're here for seller support. So, we like to hang out and chat, talk about our business, talk about our family, because this is our chance. We do this every Sunday. It's our chance to kind of hang out and chat with people and talk about our business and our family. Because when we're running shows and we're running stuff, I don't really chat a whole lot. So this is my time to come and chat and hang out and get to know people and let people get to know me a little bit. My wife may be joining me. She was running some errands. So if she gets back, she might come in and join us while we're still going. Hope y'all are having a fantastic weekend. If you have any questions, if you're a new seller or thinking about selling, or if you have any questions about being a buyer, um, give us some questions in the chat. Let us know. what y'all are doing, what's going on. I'm just going to chat then about our trip and our family if nobody has any questions. So we are also multi-streaming to YouTube. So anybody that's watching us on YouTube, hello, hello, hello. Hope y'all are having a fantastic weekend. I cannot see the YouTube chat right now. I'm fixing to open it up on the computer so I can see the YouTube chat. Sarah Hen won the giveaway. If you're watching on YouTube, come on over to Whatnot. You can get in the giveaways. We're going to do a couple of giveaways at least today. We usually do at least 2 or 3 giveaways during the live show. And let's see. YouTube, CTX, my channel, and there's my Sunday Funday. There we go. Let me mute that so it doesn't come through. Can you hear me? So, thank you. It's a random giveaway, so we're gonna send you out. We'll send you out probably one of our. Thank you, Douglas. Hello. Okay, I'm in the YouTube chat now. Melissa, I am not here to discuss politics. Nope. Okay. So we are here. Now I got the YouTube chat going. I can see YouTube. And name like that. That's probably a troll. There we go. Douglas. Hello, hello, hello. Thank you for your hearts for Emily. She's doing better. She is recovering still from everything. The procedure itself is not bad. I mean, it was like a 30-minute procedure. It was just readjusting the screws that hold her halo in place. The problem is they had to put her under anesthesia. And every time she goes under anesthesia, it takes us a week or so to get her back on her feeding. It's always feeding issues with her. That's one of our biggest problems. And she's having slow growth. She's always having problems with being able to tolerate feeds. So anything that messes with her system throws off her feeding schedule, and it takes us a week or two to get her back up to speed. And so that's what we're working on. We got her home. She's at least tolerating Pedialyte, so she's not going to get dehydrated. But that's one of the things we're constantly working on with her and trying to get fixed. So, as far as the shows, we're trying to get more consistent with our shows. Um, it's been something I've been fighting with for months, and a lot of it has to do with dealing with stuff going on with Emily. Um, but we're trying to get more consistent. My goal is to get to where I'm doing at least 3 sales shows a week. I'm trying to keep my Tuesday schedule. We've been trying to do shows every Tuesday morning right here on Whatnot. Selling. I'm trying to get 2 more sales shows worked into my schedule and trying to get a consistent enough schedule that I can show up consistently at least 2 more shows a week. And we're also trying to get more back onto YouTube more and TikTok. And so that's kind of what I'm working on. I'm trying to figure out a schedule that works for all that and gives me time to ship and clean out units and do all the stuff. Because that's the thing is we've been cleaning out a lot of units, but we haven't been moving it fast enough. I've got my own storage units that are getting packed with stuff we still haven't gotten sold yet. So I've got a 10 by 20 and a 20 by 15 by 20 or 20 by 15, which is really, they sold it to us as a 20 by 15, but it's actually 2 10 by 15s right next door to each other. But those are all packed right now with inventory. So it's all stuff we're going through. Some of it's going to be, there's a lot of clothes in there. There's a lot of stuff that we're not selling very well. So we're going to be going through all that. And one of the things that's in one of the 10 by 15s, I got almost a quarter of that unit that's still the wreckage from our truck wreck, and I haven't even begun sorting through that stuff yet. I can't even get to it because I got a bunch of other stuff piled in front of it. So that's one of my goals for the next couple of weeks is to get through that storage, start getting rid of a bunch of stuff out of that storage. We're gonna go through, run some stuff in a clearance sale. Whatever sells, whatever doesn't sell, we're getting rid of. We're gonna donate a bunch of it. We're gonna do some box lots. We're gonna be doing some crazy deals. Some nice stuff. I've got clothes in there that are really nice, good brands, Nike, North Face, Under Armour, and we've tried running them several times and nobody's bidding on them. So we're gonna do some box lots with some of that stuff. If anybody buys the boxes, then we'll ship them out. If not, we may just start donating some of that stuff just to get rid of it, and move it out of my way because I hate dealing with clothes. I'm not a clothing seller. I don't like listing clothes. Um, and yeah, I have Poshmark and some of the other shows, but channels, but we don't do well with those. So I'm just going to move them out and get rid of them and hopefully move on to something else. So that's kind of what we're at with whatnot sales right now. We are getting close to the 1,000 sales. Our sales have been going up and down. I noticed we were getting some really good sales and our sales were going up. And we started turning off reduced shipping on purpose because reduced shipping for us was costing us money. I've done probably a dozen reduced shipping shows. And out of those dozen shows that we had reduced shipping turned on, three of them actually made us money, and all the rest of us cost us more than we made. So I've either got to turn off reduced shipping or significantly increase my starting bids because we're costing us more to sell stuff than what we're making. It's not good business. And we'll be out of business within a few weeks or a few months if we keep doing that. So that's why we turned off reduced shipping. I know everybody says reduced shipping will get you more buyers, which is true. We did get more buyers, but they were still paying $2 or $3 a lot, and it's costing us $8 to send because once they get over that 5 pounds, we cover the rest of that cost. And so if you're bidding $2 or $3 on stuff and it's costing me $8 to ship it, that's not good business for me. That's costing me money. And I had several shows that at the end of the show, I was in the negative after doing shipping. And so I think for bigger sellers, that's a good thing. When you're a bigger seller and you've got 100 people in your show, that's one of the things. A lot of the bigger sellers say this is what you should always do, but they're not taking into account as a smaller seller. And this is why I like doing support. Because I like to share. This is what it's working for me as a small seller. This is something I have tried several times, and it's not working for me as a small seller. Reduced shipping is one of them. You either have to do reduced shipping. If you're going to do reduced shipping, you need to be a curated show. That's one of the things. On our curated shows, where we have small items, multiple items will fit in a flat rate box, and we control the size of the items, and we can kind of control the weight of the item. Reduced shipping works. The shows that I've made money on with reduced shipping were raid trains and shows where we had more people, but they were also shows where we had more curated shows. We had more items that were taught. Live unboxing shows, every single one of my live unboxing shows that we've done reduced shipping on, we lost money. Every one of them, except for the L'Oreal unit, which was all small items. But when we're doing live unboxings, we get varying sizes, varying weights. We're having to move very quickly trying to keep the show going. So it's hard to get exactly accurate on the weights and the sizes of stuff for shipping purposes. But it's also, if we're doing reduced shipping, if I'm selling a lot of 5 pound items, then I'm paying a lot for shipping. And, I just can't keep doing that. That's where we lost money. Thank you for the purchase of the Buy Me a Coffee. We really appreciate that. That's helping us. We're inching our way slowly up to that 1,000 sales. In fact, if I can do 2 shows this week, which I'm trying to, I'm going to do my Tuesday show and I'm trying to still get another one in there somewhere. We might be able to hit that 1,000 sales by the end of this week. So that's one of our things. We did buy a storage unit in Dallas. We donated probably 70% of the stuff out of the unit, but we were able to squeeze a few totes of stuff into the car that we brought home. We have already done an unboxing on all of it. So we completed the live unboxing, but we are going to run some stuff. We curated out some stuff that we think should have sold that didn't. We had a small show. We only had like 7 or 8 people show up. And that's one of the things that we've noticed. Time of day for our shows, at least for me, one of the things I found, thank you, Sarah. I appreciate that. One of the things that we found is when we do a show in the evening. Hi, Sophia on YouTube. We are on Whatnot and YouTube, so I'm watching the chat for both. When we do a show in the morning, we can get 20, 30 people in the show. When I do in the show in the evening, we're just doing a chat show today, Jamel. I don't have any video games right now. Hi, Elysian. Doing good. We finally made it home from Dallas. My daughter is doing better, so we're just doing every Sunday. We just do a live hangout and chat because when I'm running stuff, when I'm trying to do live unboxings, I don't have a lot of time for chatting. I'm so focused on trying to get the work done and trying to get stuff running and showing. I don't chat a whole lot. So we do a weekly show where we come on and just hang out and chat. This is our Sunday fun day. We're not really selling anything. We do have stuff in the buy it now. And I was just updating everybody kind of on our last 2 weeks. So while we were in Dallas, while my daughter was in the hospital, we bought a small 5x10 storage unit. We did bring a bunch of stuff back. We sold quite a bit, but we had some small shows. We didn't have a whole lot of people. When we go in the evening, afternoon and evening, we found that we get maybe 10 to 15 people in the show. When we go in the morning, we get 20 to 30 people, sometimes even more. So that's why I'm trying to do more of my morning shows because I tend to get more people in. I did notice a huge drop in our attendance too once we turned off reduced shipping. But I had to. I was losing money. I was getting more people, but I was losing money. And at the end of the day, we're in a business to make money and to be positive at the end of the day. I'm not trying to get rich off of this, but I've got to make more than what I spent on my product, on my shipping, on all of the costs. At the end of the day, I have to be in the positive and make a profit in order to continue doing this because this is how we pay our bills. Um, and honestly, Whatnot is not paying my bills right now. Other things are paying my bills right now while we're trying to build Whatnot. And I knew it was going to be that way. I told my wife, give it 8 months to a year before we expect it to pay our bills. And we've only been doing it for 4 months. Yep. If it doesn't make dollars, it doesn't make sense. And it has to be more dollars because some people will sit here and tell you what their sales were and talk about how great their sales were. They ain't telling what they spent to get those sales. Between sourcing, paying for shipping supplies, paying for shipping adjustments, paying Whatnot's fees. We have a lot. I only keep maybe 10 to 20% of my sales is what actually goes in my pocket because I got all these other expenses. We buy bubble wrap, we have to buy boxes, we have to buy, scales and all the stuff. Yeah, if you have employees, it's even worse. And I don't have any employees. I'm a single person. I do most of this by myself. You see a lot of the other families, like my wife, if y'all watch my shows when we're selling, a lot of times my wife can join us. Sometimes she does, sometimes she doesn't. Today she's out running some errands, so she's not able. We just got back into town and she's got a lot of stuff that's got to get taken care of. So she's out running around right now. But sometimes she joins me on the shows and sometimes she doesn't. And we've noticed that when she's there, we tend to have more people hanging out longer. But the other side of it is, I'm doing most of the work. You see, when you see her on the shows, that's about the most of the help that I get. Um, I clean out the units mostly by myself. I sort the stuff by myself. I pack and ship almost everything by myself. She comes in and helps out with the shows for a little bit, and mostly it's her doing the camera while I'm moving stuff and unboxing stuff. Um, and then she keeps up with the chat because I can't see the chat most of the time if I'm doing unboxings. So she helps a lot with that, and it's a big help. But honestly, outside of the shows, it's mostly just me. We don't have the income to pay employees, and she's busy taking care of our daughter, taking care of our 5-year-old. Um, we've got you know other things outside of the business that have to be taken care of, and she takes care of a lot of that. Mr. Gooders, we do have VHS tapes, but we're not selling today. This is a live chat show. Uh, we do have some VHSs that'll be coming up in the next few weeks. Who's calling me? Oh, they can wait. So we do have some VHSs. You too, Mr. Gooders. We do seller support, helping people answering questions based on our experience here on Whatnot. We're new to Whatnot, but we've also been selling, reselling since 2017. We've been doing it full time since 2019. So we've got a lot of experience in the reselling game. We've been doing storage units for a long time. We're just new to Whatnot. So, yep, watching the 2-year-old. You understand the issues come with being the only one with no help. Yep. I mean, it's a lot different. Like, I love Storage Madness. I love Double D, but they have a team. They got 3 people that are working on this stuff all the time. They got, help. They sometimes hire helpers to help out with stuff. I'm not in that position yet. And it's great for them. More power to them. But like me, I'm doing storage units. Well, if I'm doing all the shows, I'm also doing the Facebook Marketplace. I'm doing the furniture stuff, all the big stuff, because all of our big stuff we don't sell on Whatnot. We get a lot of that stuff. I got a storage unit right now that's full of furniture that I've been going so much on Whatnot and dealing with my daughter. I haven't even started listing my furniture. And I got a lot of furniture I've got to get listed and sold and get rid of. That's just I try to avoid furniture units, but sometimes it's unavoidable, and sometimes the furniture's hidden. Like we recently got a unit that was about 75% furniture, and it looked like it was all boxes. But once we moved the layer of boxes that was in the front, it was all furniture buried behind it. Stay home with a 2-year-old doing the chores and doing the shows, packing and shipping, and crafting for the business. Oh, wow. I mean, you're going 24/7. Oh, Susanna, hello, my dear. Over on YouTube. We're on Whatnot and YouTube right now. So I've got 2 chats going. We're trying to do more on YouTube too. I haven't been doing as much on YouTube because I've been so busy with Whatnot and trying to grow over here. We hit our 2,000 followers thanks to Storage Madness. We did a little 2,000 follower celebration a couple of weeks ago. That's been exciting. Our growth on Whatnot has been amazing. We're almost to the 1,000 sales, and we're less than 100 away. It says 811 on my thing, but we have a whole bunch of orders that are still shipping that haven't updated in my sales. According to my calculations, because when I go into my sales in the back end, it says I'm at 903. So we're just under 100 away from the 1,000 sales to unlock the instant payouts and finish unlocking all the features on Whatnot. So that's exciting. We're hoping to get that 100 sales sometime this week and be able to start getting that. Don't send that giveaway. Okay. Well, we'll rerun it. We have to rerun our giveaway. Thing is let's run a giveaway. We're gonna do another random item giveaway. Um, the thing is, once you win a giveaway or you purchase something, we either have to cancel the order or we have to ship something out because that screws us up with Whatnot if we don't ship something out. So, and trust me, I'm not worried about giveaways right now because I have plenty of things. Like right now, we got the L'Oreal Paris unit. What was it, a month and a half ago now? One of the things that we got in there was a bunch of little L'Oreal swag bags, and I have 25 cases of samples. And that's what we've been doing. A lot of our giveaways, we've been sending out the L'Oreal bags. We also have those in the buy it now. I am trying to get rid of. I'm giving them away just to give them away right now. I'm just trying to get rid of them. So we're trying to get the coffee. I love my coffee. In fact, I left my coffee in the other room. But we love our coffees, and I'm not a Starbucks fan. I make my own coffee. But I do have a bunch of Starbucks gift cards now too. I've been entering giveaways. I've been hanging out. Boatman, good morning, Boatman. Anchors away. Anchors. There's the anchor, Boatman. So I love my coffee, but I don't like Starbucks. But I've gotten like 3 Starbucks gift cards from giveaways. I got a whole bunch of giveaways that were sitting here waiting on me when I got home. I had 3 Starbucks gift cards, had a couple of Walmart gift cards, a couple of Amazon gift cards. And I found a Starbucks gift card in our last unit that we picked up in Dallas. So I got all these Starbucks gift cards, and I never go to Starbucks. So some of those we're going to throw in some of our Christmas presents, and some of those we may throw into some of our upcoming giveaways. So, because I don't like Starbucks. I think their coffee's gross. I think it tastes burned. Got a lot of people messaging me all of a sudden. So, but if anybody's had any problems with packages, I've been messaging people to verify that they didn't receive their items. I've been having a lot of problems with the post office, and every single item that I have sold, I have shipped out. But some of them are not showing on the tracking that they've shipped, and some of them are showing that they shipped and then they vanished somewhere between Austin and the next destination. So I've been trying to get a hold of the post office, and they're not very helpful with lost packages. But everything that I shipped this week from Dallas is showing that it's in shipping and in transit. So everything that we sold in Dallas is in transit. It all got shipped out. Some of it, for some reason, took a couple of days to show up as shipping. Flipping with them on. No. We are just doing live chat. Every Sunday we do a Sunday Funday just on live chat show. I don't have any jewelry watches. We sold 3 jewelry boxes last week. In fact, the unit we got in Dallas last week, we found 3 jewelry boxes, and we had 3 different lots of jewelry that we sold. So when we find them, and we have some units we're bidding on tomorrow. We got home and we immediately started looking at some units because I'm done unboxing everything I've got. I've got a lot of stuff that I'm still sorting through and trying to decide what I'm going to rerun and what I'm going to get rid of. But we're out of live unboxing stuff. Y'all getting the giveaway too. We've got a minute left on the giveaway. So we're going to be going through some more units. We're looking at some more units that are closing tomorrow. And we've got... Okay, weird. My lights are all blinking. I've got 5 units going up tomorrow that are all ones that I'm interested in. If they stay where we want them to stay, we may buy 1 or 2. And then we're just keeping an eye out, see what else comes up over the next week. We got quite a few coming up later in the week as well. So hopefully we can get a new unit and we can get some stuff coming out. Thank y'all for sharing the show. We appreciate you. And that's what we're doing. We're buying most of our units through Storage Treasures. I watch Lockerbox. I've been on Lockerbox for years. I was actually on Lockerbox before I was on Storage Treasures. but I've never bought a unit from them. Oh, here goes the giveaway. Sexy Truck 1, congratulations for random item giveaway number 2. So we'll get that sent out to you. We'll send you one of our L'Oreal Paris bags, maybe a couple of other items that we find. It's just a random pick of what we have hanging around our storage unit. So there's Miss Jessica just walked in. Hello.
Hello.
Bowman says hi. Susanna says hi.
Hi, everyone. Now it's my turn.
Yeah, Jessica's here. She just got back from running some errands.
I still need to run one errand.
Oh, you still haven't? Well, okay.
But I still wanted to come in and say hi.
So
y'all can't see me.
Yeah, y'all can't see her. She's right there.
Look at my hair; it's all messed up right now.
You can't see. Part of it, I'm using the computer to prop up, and I got YouTube chat up
that's something pretty good going on over here.
Yeah, I'm finagling things here. Cause see, I'm on the tablet because my tablet's an iPad, so I can multi-stream to YouTube from whatnot. But I can't see the YouTube chat, so I'm using the computer to hold the YouTube chat, and then I'm down here on the tablet for the whatnot chat.
Oh, wow. Hi, everybody. So YouTube is on too. Hi, people on YouTube. Yep. Hi, people on whatnot. Yeah, I'm right here.
So, but we're trying to get back involved on YouTube more. We miss the YouTube community, but I've got to rebuild the YouTube channel and get people coming, because the last couple of times we tried to do shows on YouTube, we've had like 3 or 4 people show up. So doing live auctions on YouTube, unless I can get at least 15 to 20 people on a YouTube auction, it's not worth running an auction. But we have done some buy it now shows where we just set a list price and then we allow people to buy through the chat as well afterwards. The other thing is, and I've been talking about doing this for a while. One of my plans within the next 2 weeks is we're going to be building our own website. I'm going to be using Shopify and building a Shopify store. I haven't created the domain yet. Angie hello.
Thank you for joining us. Thing. Hi.
How does YouTube auctions work? It's mostly manual because YouTube's not built for auctions. But basically what we do, because that's how we started. We started doing YouTube auctions in 2020. And what we do is we'll show the item, or we'll set up a table and we'll have the lights all shut up to show. We have a moderator that usually helps us
Not me.
And they put the item in the chat, and then in the chat people bid. And it's first what we go based on the order they come up in the chat, as far as if there's a discrepancy of 2 people bidding it around the same time. Whoever was in the chat first with that bid gets that bid. Generally, we keep it at $1 increments, under $10. From $10 to $50, we do $2 increments, and over $50, we do $5 increments for the bids. And then we invoice at the end. We keep track of who won what lot and what they won it at. And then we invoice after the show through Pirate Ship for the shipping and PayPal for the invoicing.
And they're actually 2 totally different platforms, to be honest with you.
Yeah. The thing is like, okay, I can run 30 or 40 items in about 10 to 15 minutes on whatnot. It takes me 4 hours to run that many items on YouTube.
Yeah.
Because it's so much of it's manual. It's so slow. It takes me a good 5 or 6 minutes just to run one item on YouTube. Versus, it's a lot harder.
It is, but it's not at the same time. I mean, it's like so.
But you also have to realize, when I started doing YouTube auctions, it was coming from doing eBay sales.
Like, what? So instead of listing, pace.
So instead of listing stuff and waiting for 3 months or 6 months for something to sell, I could buy a unit and be selling stuff that day. So it was a lot faster. But I didn't have whatnot in 2020. evidently Whatnot was around, but I just heard about Whatnot about a year ago.
Right.
So we didn't have Whatnot, and Whatnot didn't have the storage unit finds category until a little over a year ago. Um, so
And you don't have people going in and out of
we were
YouTube
already
as
building
much.
YouTube. We were already building a following on YouTube. There's a huge community of sellers that have been selling on YouTube since the pandemic.
Yeah.
And there's a lot of channels. So we have a lot of friends over there that sell. And a lot of times my selling on YouTube is going on somebody else's channel and doing a collaboration sale where we have 2, 3, 4 people on a panel and we're taking turns showing and selling our items. Hey, South Texas.
Hey, South Texas.
But it's a lot slower. And honestly, I make less money on some items on YouTube, and I make more money on some items on YouTube. That's why I still do some of both. It's slower, but I have
It's been
some
a while
things.
since we've done YouTube, though.
Yeah, it's been a little while. I've been focused a lot on Whatnot. I believe in building one platform at a time. Hi, Lydia. But with YouTube, there's some items that I can get more bids and get better bids on a YouTube auction than I can on, especially if I get on the right channel. Um, like if I want to bulk lot all my jewelry, I could bulk lot all my jewelry. I have a lot of jewelry. I could bulk lot it and sell it off on Whatnot for probably 10, 15, $20. I can take that same jewelry. I can get on a show on YouTube for about 4 or 5 hours, and I guarantee you, I'll probably make $200 or $300 off of that same jewelry, and I'll piece a
Hi,
lot of it
Lydia.
out.
Happy Sunday to you too.
So I have a lot of friends. If you like jewelry, I would go to Picky Nikki or Save Here First. And she's Save Here First is her name is Ella. She's here. She's on YouTube, but she's also, in fact, she's live on YouTube right now. But she's also here on Whatnot. Save Here First. She is a jewelry seller, and she does a lot of jewelry shows and jewelry only shows. Picky Nikki does a lot of jewelry shows. Um, and I can go on with either one of them and do a jewelry show, and they have jewelry buyers because they do a lot of pieced out jewelry, and I can sell more jewelry in an hour. I mean, yeah, it takes me 3 or 4 hours versus I could sell the same amount of jewelry in 10 or 15 minutes here on Whatnot, but I make more money on the jewelry. And right now we're in a position of meeting
It's
the money.
where you're. It's honestly probably if you're on Whatnot, you're probably not going to have that much luck with it. I mean,
one of the things you have to look at,
like so.
One of the things you have to look at, like in the storage unit finds category, we can build a pretty big following pretty quickly because there's so many people interested in the storage unit finds because it's such a general category. If you go on Whatnot and do jewelry, also look at what category are you building your following in. Like if I go into the jewelry category or if I go into the gaming category, I don't get people in my shows because my following is in the storage unit finds category. Now I can go in and do a storage unit find show and do that curated and just do my items as jewelry, but I don't get as many people sticking around. I get more people coming through the show, but then they don't hang out. Because
hi, Papa Smurf.
Hi, Papa Smurf. Did you get my email? I didn't get a response from you, but I sent you that refund. I tried and tried and tried to get any answer from the post office, and I never got anything on it. So I just refunded your money. I sent it a few days ago.
And he tried. Trust me, he tried.
I tried really hard. We've also been in the hospital with Emily for the last 2 weeks.
Yeah, we've been gone.
We've been out of town and
gone.
Angie, it takes some time. It depends on your category. It takes time. A lot of people come in and they see the big shows and they have a false expectation of what they can do. I didn't expect anything. In fact, I expected to break even or lose money. Generations, hello.
Hey, Generations.
When I came into Whatnot, I did not have the expectation of making money from the start. I came in expecting to either lose money or break money for at least the first 2 or 3 months and to not at least pay my bills for at least 8 months to a year. So because I had lower expectations, we've actually kind of exceeded my expectations to some degree. storage unit finds is my category too. It takes time to build the following. The other thing is showing up consistently. I would suggest have at least one show a week that is a set time, set schedule, set show. You show up at that same time every week on that show.
Okay,
At
I'll
least
let him
one.
know, Papa Smurf, to email you.
Okay. I emailed you a couple of days ago, but I'll email you again. Um, but I would have at least one consistent show that you consistently show up. I have two right now. My one is this. It's our live chat. Again, when I'm doing live unboxing, which is my main thing, is that we're doing live unboxing shows. If I'm doing a live unboxing, I don't have a whole lot of time to chat because I'm working, and I get very hyper focused when I'm working. So this is our chat show where we just hang out and chat with people.
Right.
Yeah, having to work around a work schedule. I understand that.
Lydia, thanks.
When I started on YouTube, it was the same thing. I was working full time at a prison. I was working 16 to 18 hours a day, 6 or 7 days a week, and it was hard to work YouTube into my schedule. Um, and so I understand that when we first started, we had to fight with that too. But having a consistent show.
Oh, James was working those type of shifts.
I was working. I was scheduled 12-hour shifts, and most of the time working 16-hour shifts.
Yeah, and then what was your? How? When was he? When were you off? Like 1 or 2 days a week. And those days
it was rotating.
It was a rotated
shift based on every other week. My days off would change.
And he worked nights.
And then half the time, if it was my days off, and there towards the end too. My last year there, I was a supervisor and I was on salary, and
he's the one that
I
talked
wasn't
to you about
supposed
that.
to work overtime, and I worked more overtime during that last year than I did before I was a supervisor. And I hardly ever got a day off. And if I did have a day off, it was because I refused to go in because we had appointments for Emily or something I had to go to.
Yeah, he would go home, come back, barely get home, and sometimes we were going straight to an appointment afterwards, and it'd be 11 or 12 before he went back to
and
school.
I would, for a lot of times, for like 4 years, I was working night shifts. Mm-hmm. So I was working from like 4 in the afternoon until 6 in the morning.
6 in the morning. Mm-hmm. And then so I would try to set my schedule for appointments around 10, so he'd at least get some sleep by the time he came home, about 10 or 11.
Yep.
So yeah, it was a very trying time. And during that time, I think you had started selling units beforehand. So he's probably the person you need to talk to about some of that stuff.
I started doing storage units in 2018. I was reselling on eBay in 2017. We started reselling. What got us started in reselling, honestly, was we were going through Dave Ramsey's Financial Peace class. And one of the things that he teaches is to sell stuff that you don't use around your house on eBay, yard sales, whatever. And so we started selling stuff. My mom had passed away. We had a bunch of stuff from her estate that we had cleaned out of storage and was just sitting here. We had a bunch of personal stuff that we weren't using. So we started listing and selling stuff on eBay.
Yeah.
And we were using that money to pay off our debt. And then we started buying other people's stuff. In 2018, we started buying storage units.
Interesting in itself too, but it's been something else, that's for sure. It's been
trying to go on. I mean, and that's the thing. Also, you know, and it's hard to build a following in the evenings. Kyle Crow, hello. But unfortunately, we found that we started with doing afternoons and the evening shows for the first month and a half. Yeah. One of the things we found once we started doing morning shows, and I know your work schedule doesn't allow for that, but I am saying when we started doing morning shows, we started getting double or triple the people. Part of the problem is there's a lot of people that can only go on in the evenings, so you have more competition. You also get a lot of the bigger sellers doing shows more and more in the evenings and on the weekends. And so you're competing with bigger shows. You're competing with a lot of bigger channels. For
It
me,
just depends.
I go between 7:30 and 9 in the morning, and I can get 30 to 40 people in a show.
Well, thank
Usually.
you.
Um, that's just my experience with doing the morning shows. Um, and a lot of the times we're getting more people, we're getting more bids, we're getting more sales. Now, that's not to say you can't get more people in. Sometimes too, and this is something we've both been discussing. Honestly, we've had shows in the evening that we got a great crowd. And it had to do with what did we have to bring to show. A lot of your success or failure is going to be made at the sourcing. What are you bringing to the show? When we had that L'Oreal unit, we had 2 shows on that unit. We did one in the morning, one in the evening, and both crushed it.
And we
And we
still
had a
have some
ton of
product.
people.
Not a
We
lot,
got a
but we
ton of
still
new
have some
followers
product.
through doing that show. We had people sharing the show. We had all that engagement. And it started with the fact that we had great product. We had brand new in the package
And we
product,
didn't
which
know
is
what we
rare
had.
for us.
We
We
didn't
got
know
a
what we
steal
had.
of a deal on that unit. We were lucky. It was listed as a manager special, and most people are afraid of buying manager specials. Ray
That's
trains.
good. Ray trains will be good.
That's one of the things we were doing decent until we started getting into ray trains. When we started doing a couple of ray trains a month is when we really started growing. Um, a lot of our following has come from ray trains. So we do some giveaway ray trains. We've done a couple of selling ray trains. I'm doing the trash train with Sunshine Treasures on Black Friday. So bookmark that show. We've also got the Madness giveaway raid train that we're doing on November 16th, which is also my birthday.
Woo-hoo, that's his birthday. And we're gonna, I don't know how we're gonna do that one because we're gonna be coming in.
We're going to be
town.
traveling, so it's going to be, well, I'm scheduled later.
So,
I scheduled my show for 2 o'clock in the afternoon, and we're usually home by then.
So we're probably gonna be just barely getting back, only to turn around and do a raid train.
Yeah.
So,
but it's a 30-minute giveaway show.
We're gonna be gone for most of that week, I believe.
You're on the trash train in December. Cool.
Great.
The trash train. I love Sunshine Treasures. This will be my first showing on their trash train. So I'm learning on the selling raid trains. I've done the last 4 months now on the giveaway raid trains. I did Aliciane, who was here earlier. She did a raid train that we were just on. The Givey Goblin raid train. I did a Vesk Free is putting together a bunch of raid trains for specifically small channels.
Right.
So if you want to get into raid trains, go to Vesk Free here on Whatnot, message them. They're putting together, they're actually doing a competition raid train that they're working on. I couldn't do it because I got too much other stuff going on right now. Something's hitting my plug.
It's a ghost.
Oh, you're standing on my plug. You're hitting my plug.
Darn it! They should have thought it was a ghost. It's Halloween time.
Thank you, Angie.
Thank you, Angie.
We try to help people. You know, we're growing. We're learning. I'm learning every show. Yeah. We're doing some things better. I'm better at doing them now than I was 2 weeks ago. One of the things that I tell people all the time, and some people are getting this and some people don't. Remember, you're here to sell stuff. Absolutely. We're in business. We're here to sell stuff too. But we're also here to entertain people a little bit. I see a lot of people, the reason they're not building a following is because they're boring. One, remember, and I learned this on YouTube a long time ago, the camera deflates your energy. So you have to kind of bring it out and project your energy a little bit more.
And boy, is it tiring.
Because I could go back to watch some of my shows, and I know this. Boring. And some of my shows, when it's boring. Just me, it's boring. It's boring. But when it's me and Jessica, and we're playing off of each other, and we're interrupting each other.
Sitting there saying, "Dad's boring."
And I know that, but I know
I thought that to myself, but I was just like, man, even the 5-year-old is bored. I'm just like, wow, okay.
But I know this. I've been doing video on YouTube. Guys, my first YouTube channel was in 2007. YouTube was founded in 2006.
Ooh, am I still stepping on that thing?
I don't know. We're hitting a cord. It's going underneath my chair. And
yeah, I guess I'm hitting on his chair or something like that.
But you have to entertain people. If you look at some of the biggest channels, Corey Manick, some of the growing channels like Storage Madness and Double D Treasure Barn, and some people don't like them because they're a little rough, but they're entertaining. And you don't have to be rough like they are. You don't have to be like them.
Just
you don't have
find
to
your
be
own
them. You find your own way to
way.
do it. But remember, you're here to entertain people. That's what's going to keep people in your show. That's what's going to bring people back to your show. And then offering great product. If you can get those two things, if you can be a little bit entertaining, it doesn't have to be wildly entertaining, but be a little bit entertaining, and you bring great product to the show. That's half the battle right there. The rest of it's just giving it time. You have to give Whatnot time to build that following, to grow. Get out there, get that exposure, get on as many raid trains as you can. Get in front of other people. Right. Do the promotions. Go to some of the bigger channels.
James does all the promotions. I hardly go in there. I will say though,
I don't buy them all the time, but at least once or twice a month, I will go into Double D Treasure Barn, Corey Manic, Storage Madness, Pirate, some of those bigger channels. If they and I watch the chat too. I time how I do it. When they get to 100 to 150 people in their show, I'm gonna do that sponsored giveaway.
Guys, if y'all are still here when I get back, I'll come back on, but I've got to go.
She's got to go run some more errands again. Bye, but doing those sponsored giveaways has helped us to grow our following, to get, and one, it's giving to the community, but it's also helping us grow our channel. It's getting us some exposure. It's letting people know where we're at and who we are. So, and then it's also, what are you doing outside of Whatnot to promote your Whatnot? I've got at least a dozen people that I have brought into the platform that are not only coming to my shows and buying stuff, they're going to other people's shows and buying stuff. Because I'm telling people, because a lot of people don't know Whatnot exists. So you've got to get out there and promote Whatnot off of Whatnot. Get out there, get into your community, let people know it exists. That'll bring more people into your show, but it's also going to bring more people into the platform in general. I'm out there on YouTube promoting Whatnot. I'm on my TikTok promoting Whatnot. I'm out in my community in person. I was giving my Whatnot link to people that we were meeting, nurses and people we meet at the hospital, because we buy a lot of stuff on Whatnot. I tell people sometimes jokingly, I have to run more shows on Whatnot just to pay my Whatnot bills, because I'm buying stuff on Whatnot too. Some of it's stuff we're buying to resell because we're getting some great deals on stuff that we're selling in other places. My mailman hates me too. Actually, we have two different mail people. Our main mailman loves me, but the person that backs him up hates me because she's lazy and don't want to do pickups. And honestly, we're small. I'm only sending out 40 or 50 packages a day. I know some people that are, I was talking to Double D the other day, they sending out 450 packages, 450 shipments off of just a couple of shows. And I'm like, dang, my mailman couldn't fit 450 shipments in their truck. I would have to hold that to the post office because they couldn't carry it. And that's what they do. They take it directly to the post office because they won't do pickup at their place because they have so many packages. But they've also been doing this reselling. This is the other thing. Don't compare yourself to the other seller. I'm not comparing myself to Double D. I love Double D, but I'm not comparing myself. One, they've got 3 people doing the work that I'm doing by myself. But 2, they've been doing this for over 20 years. They've only been on Whatnot for about a year, but they've been doing reselling and they've been doing specifically storage units for over 20 years. They know how to sell stuff. They know how to source stuff. They're bringing great product. They have a budget that I would kill for. They spend more money on one unit than I spend in a month on units. So that's something you got to think about. And it might behoove you if you're doing storage units, for example. And like we started with buying $10 units, reinvesting the profits, and buying better units. And we've worked ourselves up. Now we spend $300, $400, $500 on a unit. Sometimes not. I've had units that I was willing to go $300, $400, $500, and we wound up getting it for 150 or 200. I don't even look at the units that I know are going to be $1,000 units because I can't afford them. But one of the things that we've talked about is saving up that money and getting ourselves to where we can go in and buy $500,000 or $600,000 units, because those are the ones that are making the money. That's where you're gonna the ones that have the product that are gonna make the money are gonna be more expensive units. Um, I still buy baby units. Me too. I mean, and hell, I, some people like say, "Oh, it's all trash." I ain't ashamed to say I get free pickup units from storage treasures because sometimes that's the only unit I can afford for the week. I've gone and do those. I pay that $30 a month and get those free units, and I guarantee you, every time we've done a free pickup unit, I've made more than the $30 it cost me to pay for that service every month, and made more than I spent in gas and transportation. Every single one of them. Now, have I made a ton of money on them? No, but I've made way more than what I spent to get those free units. So sometimes those free units can be worth it, especially when you're broke. And honestly, like, we don't have a lot of money to spend on units right now. We just spent a lot of money, and it was honestly the only reason we were able to afford this trip to Dallas was the generosity of this community, and specifically Double D Treasure Barn. In the Gibby Goblin Raid Train 2 months ago, or no, the Storage Madness. Sorry, gotta get the right one. The Storage Madness Raid Train 2 months ago. Uh, we had been talking about Emily and her disabilities, and we weren't expecting anything. We were just really trying to explain to people why we come and go a lot. And Double D was two people after us, and he put up in his show and took tips throughout his show and donated all the tips and matched the tips and donated it to our family to help us pay for Emily's hospital stays. That fund that they took for us got us $450, and that's what paid for our trip that we just made to Dallas. That paid for our hotel room for part of this trip when we were in Dallas for 2 weeks with Emily in the hospital. And it was not a fancy hotel room, and we got a medical discount. But that generosity was what helped us to survive this last 2 weeks. So we owe a lot to this community for helping us through that generosity, through the generosity of the community, and specifically the generosity of Double D Treasure Barn. It's part of why we support them as much as we do, because they have done a lot to help us. Not just that generosity, but Doug has been a mentor to me. He's helping me to improve my business. One of the things that I'm working on is trying to get a fund in place that I can have $1,000 on hand to throw at a unit. And I would recommend that if you want to do storage units, don't pocket some of your money for a while. Put that money right back into your business. Get yourself $1,000 fund for storage units and $1,000 emergency fund for your business at least. Um, if you have $1,000 to $2,000, you could drop on a good unit rather than losing a really great unit. I would do it because it'll pay it back. I that's what's going to build your following faster is bringing better product, because then people are good. If you're bringing a unit full of collectibles, baseball cards, comic books, one of those things, write these things down too. If you're starting a show, start writing down the things that people come in asking for, because that's what people are looking for. And when you get a list and you start realizing these things, every single show I do, these are things people are asking for. I've had 4 or 5 people show up today asking for jewelry or watches. I've had 4 or 5 people ask me if I have any video games. Those are things on my list. So I'm specifically looking for those items, whether I'm going to a yard sale or if I'm going to a thrift store or if I'm going to a storage unit. I'm looking for those items because I know that's what people are looking for. I'm looking for jewelry. And trust me, I'm already looking for jewelry anyway because I like doing jewelry. I'm looking for jewelry. I'm looking for uh, Funkos. People are selling a lot of Funkos selling. I have a unit right now that we're looking at for tomorrow. It's only at $20 right now. It's got at least a dozen Funkos in there that I know of. Even if they're all low end Funkos, that's easily 70 to $80 worth of Funkos. If they're low end ones. I can't even see all of them to see what they are. I just see the boxes of Funkos. There's a bin full of them, so I can't see what Funkos they have. But those can go anywhere from $4 or $5 a piece, all the way up to $100 a piece, depending on which ones they have. So there's a unit we're looking at that closes tomorrow that we're trying to bid on for Funkos. And the rest of the unit looks like junk. Honestly, the only reason I'm bidding on the unit is Funkos. Um, and I'm not going super high on that unit because I don't know what they got. But I'm figuring it's worth at least a $60 bid just for the Funkos. And then there's other stuff in there that could be some good stuff. There's a bunch of boxes and a bunch of totes, and it could be all junk, and it may not be. There's also some furniture in there that I'm gonna have to deal with. So there's that. One of the things I'm doing more and more, I'm looking specifically for units that don't have any or very little furniture because of Whatnot. Because my primary online selling right now is through Whatnot. I am building my own website where we'll be selling some stuff. There's some stuff that I can sell, but I can't sell it on Whatnot. I can legally sell it, but it's against uh, Whatnot's terms of service to sell. So I'm building my own website, so I control what I can and can't sell. As long as it's legal, it'll be on my site. I have adult items. We'll say we find that kind of stuff all the time, and there is a market for that stuff used. But I can't sell it on Whatnot. I can't sell it on YouTube. I can't sell it on any of the other platforms I'm on. So I'm building my own website where I can sell that stuff. And I don't have a problem. Some people have a moral issue with it. I don't care. I have some very expensive items in that adult category that I cannot sell here. That would be, if I could sell them on my own website, I can sell them for hundreds of thousands of dollars. I mean, they're really high end, expensive pieces. So I want a place where I can sell that stuff. So that's why I'm building my own website. I control the rules of what I can and can't sell. And so that's one of my plans in the next 2 weeks is start building that site. The downside is I don't have any traffic to that website, so I have to do all the work. I'm going to have to do a lot of advertising. I'm going to have to spend some money and spend some time promoting the site and building the audience on that site and building customer base and all that, which that gets expensive, but it's doable. But we have stuff. One of the things I found is through the platform I'm using to build the website is I can not only build my own website and list my own website, I can cross list those listings on Mercari, on Etsy, on Facebook Marketplace, on the Bay, but I'm not listing on the Bay. So any of those sites that the items I'm listing, and it's a per item basis, it's not an automatic thing. So any items that I can list on those other platforms, I will. So that way I'm making, and it's only cost me like $30 a month as the base fee, or $40. It's $40 a month is my baseline fee, plus like $20 a year for my domain. With SSL secured system license, it's like $20 a year. So for you know a very low price, less than 35 or less than 45, less than $50 a month, I own my own website. If I can do at least $100 a month in sales, I'm doubling what it cost me to run my website for stuff that I already have anyway. And that I'm struggling to get rid of. And it's stuff that mostly, if I can't find another way to sell it, I'm going to have to donate it. So I might as well build my own website for $50 a month and sell some of that stuff. And if I make $100 a month off of that sale, I'm doubling what I spent on the site. I'm not buying stuff for that site, and it's stuff that I can't sell on Whatnot that I'm already sourcing. So, and that's where I'll probably sell some of my furniture because I can list it on that website as local pickup only. I can list it. I can cross post to other platforms through that site. So I can post it to Facebook Marketplace. I can post it to OfferUp, all through that back end. So it gets out to the local sales only places that I go to. So I urge people, and this is where Whatnot may get mad at me. I don't care. Never put your business completely dependent on any one platform. Whatnot, YouTube, I don't care. I was completely dependent on eBay for a long time, and then I got banned on eBay. So don't get yourself hung up by being dependent on this platform. I love this platform, and I want to see this platform thrive. But I will also never put my business to be as completely dependent on this platform for its survival. The only way I would make my business completely dependent on a platform is if I own that platform. That's owning my own website. Um, because I can't control the rules on whatnot. I can't control what's allowed, what's not allowed on whatnot. I can't control the audience on whatnot. I have a little bit more control over my own website. So, anyway, we are gonna run off here. We're gonna do a raid and run off. Thank you guys so much for joining us, for letting me ramble on for the last hour or so. And we will see y'all next week. We're gonna hang out on Tuesday. We'll be doing our show. And see, Sweet Home Resale is on. Designer Deals, Dragon Hoarder, Lone Pine. Let's see. Yeah. Let's go back to Lone Pine. He makes some really great stuff, guys. I have some of his pieces. Lone Pine Laser that does laser printing and wood projects, and we're gonna go give him a raid real quick.